Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Voidcast. We're gonna talk some Void and, more importantly, have a lot of fun doing it. This will be the 16th live episode of Talking Void. Our host for this evening is the wonderful Jasper, and our awesome guest is me.
Ah! Oh, it worked, Roger. It worked.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Okay.
So back to you, Jasper.
Well,
Is
now
that
I'm
correct?
confused.
Yeah, that's
Now I don't know what I have to do.
well, it's more structured this way, right?
I'm getting this strange feeling that more than just that are reversed. Are our names spelled okay on the screen, or are they in reverse? Please tell me if they're on wrong.
No, it's fine.
It's
You even
fine.
spelled my name correctly.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
Roger, right?
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit. Ashley Gibson, there you are. Miraneos is in chat. I saw Esner in chat. There are all these people here that nice.
Yeah. Hello, chat.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
I think, Esner, that you have a mirror problem with your name as well, but I don't know for certain.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Uh, but
Thank
what?
you very much for the sub, Esner.
Yes,
Sub
thank you
before
very much.
We're live properly, so thanks again.
Hey, Michelle. So, welcome in chat. Welcome to this new episode of Talking Void. I don't have to do the introductions at all because Roger did them, which was hilarious.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, it was. I think it
Okay.
was. So that's okay then. So we have a full show for you planned tonight. Roger, as you all know, is a dungeon master. I am sometimes a dungeon master as well. So we'll be doing this from the dungeon master point of view. Say, Roger, did you prepare an answer to the question that's the main topic of this evening?
What? No? Should I have?
Yes, of course you should.
Start
thinking
you
about
want my
it.
answer now?
No, start thinking about it while I run this introduction to the show. See
Sure.
you soonish. And we are back. So as he says, Roger is a dungeon master. He doesn't get surprised by anything. He creates the mysteries.
It's so true. It's, yeah.
I was
I'm
actually
not a player very often, so I don't have a lot of mysteries to uncover.
He was
But I
on-
do have some.
He was
I'm
only
a
a
player
player
in
for the last 9 years in my campaign, so he isn't a player that often. You
No.
know, how many times do you have to play to be a player often enough?
Well, I
or
clocked a
is
lot
it-
more DM hours than I did player hours.
Okay. That's true. But anyway, welcome to the show, Roger.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks for having me.
Always my pleasure, I think. But I was shouting at him when the introduction was running because, what, you didn't think of an answer and everything? Because I have thought of an answer, and of course it is about one of Roger's campaigns. Because let me tell you, I'm not a player very often as well. Although I am now in the Precipice of Dreams, of course, which is the second time I'm playing a character. Which is one more than Roger, I think.
Oh, we have one campaign, so...
Oh yeah, true. And you played in Stronghold, which I didn't.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, it gets complicated from that point on, right?
Yeah.
I have to remember to look in the camera, but I'm always looking like this because Roger is there.
Chat is there for me, so...
As well. So I have to, Anyway, it's not because I'm shy, because I'm definitely not shy. It's because... Right? Where am I? I suddenly don't know. I suddenly don't know. Anyways, talking Void. But first of all, we are going to do some much needed socials and stuff. Funny thing is, we had an impromptu show yesterday, or at least the show wasn't that impromptu because Michel had planned it and he played Absu. But I decided at the last moment that I wanted to play it as well when I was watching him, so I recorded my stream as well. And so we have a parallel projection show with kind of a different content again that will air sometime soonish. My wife is scanning a document, and that's coming to this PC right now, so I hope that won't interrupt what is happening here. Anyway,
Fine to me. Seems fine to me.
Yeah, it seems fine to me too. So, but Adobe is opening. Anyway, so watch out for that one. We had a lot of fun in chat afterwards. I joined him again. I had promised myself to get a night off, but no, it was too much invested into the show, and we had a lot of fun. And then we talked about some Dungeons and Dragons as well. And so next week we have the Precipice of Dream again on Monday, which is a small show we do, right, Roger?
Yeah, it's a tiny show. Yeah.
Yeah, because it depends on how big your screen is really. Because if you have a really big screen, it's a big show.
Well, you do that show with the most people at the same time.
That's true as well.
There's
All
5 of us.
all the 5 Voidcasters are on that show. And then the Tuesday after the Precipice of Dreams at 9 Central European Time, we'll be doing my first episode of Jasper's Laboratory, for which I don't have the art ready yet, but that will be fun as well, hopefully. And in which I will be preparing sessions in a practical manner. Well, I will elaborate what's happening in my mind as well, but I will do drawings of maps, and I will talk about what I think should happen or should not happen and everything. And then, so hopefully that will be fun as well. I'm looking forward to it. I have all this inspiration running around inside my head, and it wants to come out. So see about that. And for the rest, follow us on Instagram, on Discord. Maybe soon is on Reddit. Don't know yet. Shouldn't announce that even, I think. On Twitch. Yeah, I don't know. I see you laughing and say, yeah. Anyway, on YouTube, of course, ring that bell. Follow us. That will help greatly. And of course, follow us on Twitch as well, where you are now. And if you follow us on Twitch, please, if you have a Twitch Prime account, throw it back to us. And if not, just pay us. No. Oh, I'm too humble to ask it for real. Anyway,
He is, folks. You're there first. He's too humble.
I'm too humble. I'm too humble for my car. Too humble. Anyway, let's get into the show. Oh, are we getting into the show right now, Roger? Because there's one other thing I have to do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm allowed to speak because you go on and on and on and on.
You are allowed to speak now.
Okay. So what's your other show, Jasper? Of your other thing, Jasper?
My other thing. That's the special tab, which I will be going to now. There you go. Allard from Dutch 20 will be joining us. Well, not this evening, though. But he will be joining us on the next Talking Void. And Allard is kind of the founder of Dutch 20, if I'm getting it right. No, I think I'm getting it right. I'm getting it right. And he will be on the 2nd of February, 9 Central European Time. This is the second collaboration we'll be doing on Talking Void. We're still discussing what topics we'll be discussing. Am I saying it right? Yes, I'm saying it right. So look out for that. And that means that at the end of the show, things will be a bit different. But I love that he's coming on the show. I'm a member of the Dutch 20 community, although lately I've had very little time because I'm doing this stuff and have a daytime job as well. But he's really invested into the Dutch community of role players, not just the Dungeons and Dragons. And the community is quite big. They surpassed I think about 3K of members last I heard, and that's a lot for.
That's accurate.
Yeah, for Dutch. Well, we are a very small country, and it's a Dutch-speaking community. So there you go. He will be joining us, and we'll be talking about stuff. because we like to talk about stuff.
But I have one question and one remark.
It's not next week.
It's not next week. That's the
No.
remark.
Yeah.
It's in 2 weeks. And do you purposely plan these guests around me? Like
Yeah.
last time we had a guest, it was the week after of the 2 weeks after I was on, and now you doing it again.
Do you want to be on that show, Jose?
Maybe, yeah. Is that possible?
I don't know, because then I have to disappoint
then we
Michel
have-
again. But
No, we can.
But he was.
Or we
he
do a
was.
four-man shouty show.
Four-man shouty show. Maybe we
yeah.
can do that. Well, maybe I'll ask you. Maybe we'll see what happens.
We'll
I
see.
don't know.
Yeah. It's,
But-
usually
what?
I'm busy on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Anyway. So yeah, Michel's. I'm not gonna.
he's already
bound
crying.
Michel's spot.
So-
Yeah, I know.
But it happens by accident. Sorry, Roger.
Yeah. I know.
And the other thing is, Michel will probably not be able to talk about the Precipice of Dreams, which is a bummer for him.
Yeah, and I can now. Yeah,
Yeah, you can.
and I like the Precipice of Dreams. It's
You
it's
do?
fun.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
thing
yeah.
because it's not next week. That's the one thing I was going to say one last time, because it's the week after. I don't know why it says next week. I typed it though, so it's my mistake. Anyway, what's happening in chat? Sorry, was trying to figure out how modify an emote so that every time Jasper mentions the new show, I throw up a DD picture. Yeah.
Edie, yeah, like
Yeah, four-man
next to the
shouting show.
laboratory.
Yeah. So thanks, chat, for that. And Esner said something about Ashley Gibson. Dear Dungeon Master, did you ever get confused by one of the mysteries you set up yourselves, for instance, because of the direction the players took? Yeah. A lot of times. Because my adventures
Never.
always derail for some reason.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Wh-
Well, mine do too, but I'm not sure if it's confusing then.
Well,
But stuff can change behind screens, and players don't notice it anyway. So
Yeah. I don't know if it's my fault or it's their fault. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm also being very explicit about it when it happens. Man, what are you doing now? Or, man, I didn't see that one coming. Years earlier, I would have kept silent and just have thought. But these days, I'm really telling the players that they derailed my campaign because I love it so much.
yeah, and that's also great for players to hear that
Yeah.
they're having an impact on the story and that things can
Yeah.
change. I mean, that's also kind of exciting.
It's very exciting. Yeah, it's the most fun. It's the most fun. So this time we are going to start with the Precipice of Dreams, and then we are going into the main topic. Yeah, let's go into the Precipice of Dreams, and we have critical conversations. Is that the title of the show?
That is the title. After much discussing,
Yeah.
we settled on that.
Yeah, we had a brief moment where it was
Slapping
it's okay
flaps.
slapping flaps, and it's okay to
It's
cry,
okay to cry. Yeah, that's
which I
also
loved
one.
myself. But might
Yeah.
have been a bit too sad.
Yeah, and that was referencing one particular moment in a session where a lot happened still. So
Well, I think there was a lot of crying for quite a bit of the show, and I think that Michel summed up part of the show really great when Solving asked him, "Is it okay to cry?" And I think Oldleaf said, "If it's okay to laugh, it's okay to cry," which I thought was a really beautiful moment in the last episode.
yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
was.
The-
It was an emotional episode.
Yeah, in some ways. So, Roger, I'm taking the back seat here. I'm going to stop talking, and you can tell us what you thought about last show.
Yeah, well, it started off as in the aftermath of a pretty lengthy encounter, and then a lot of weird stuff happened again. As tends to happen in this weird world where you're in. But I think you guys made some assumptions based on what you saw Oddleaf doing. And I actually wanted to ask you about that because, you wanted to stop Oddleaf from doing it.
No.
Yeah, but what gave you? Why did you want to stop it? So for those that haven't seen it, Oddleaf took part in some ritual and got offered some extra power from an unknown benefactor as of yet, and she eagerly grasped that power and used it in that ritual. And Bowen Jasper took wind of that happening, and he wanted to stop it.
Yeah, I did. Um, well, I don't know exactly how you phrased it, but when I heard it, a couple of things went through my mind. The first thing is react, because Bowen is quite a reactive creature. He doesn't think about stuff. Hello, graduate glasses.
Yeah,
Um, so he reacted to the thing that was happening. I might have presumed stuff, but the funny thing is, I don't know in which way. I don't know what really motivated him to do it. It could have been many things, and I was kind of mysterious after the episode because we discussed it briefly, I think, because Michelle shouted, "What the hell happened?" and everything, and I said, "Well, you don't know why I did the things I did," but then the truth is, I don't know either, and I think there might have been a presumption, but the action itself. For me, had more than one implication. I think, in a way, the most important thing that happened to me there is that I was trying to help Oldleaf.
by slapping her.
Yeah, by getting her out of that situation.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but she eagerly took part in that situation, and
Yeah, but I thought there was something dark happening there, and well, I don't.
yeah, and yeah, but I had the feeling because that's something which is very hard to do in a live session like this. I mean, if we're playing D&D in our in the same room, then we can say, "Hey, you guys go outside for a while, and I'll need to discuss something with him or her." And we can't really do that here. I mean, I can serve and mute you all, but it's still weird. And so I usually tend to do these personal moments in a kind of a cryptic manner during the session where everyone can hear it. But don't you think you picked up something from that, something that wasn't meant for you as a player, and used it to make your decision?
Well, it could have
Or
been.
did it color your impulse?
It might have, but I think it was I felt something approaching when I think you said something like there's this dark streak to it somewhere. I think that's what you mentioned to my Arcana check. I don't know the exact phrasing, but I think I reacted to that the most.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's. And I mentioned to you that it somehow felt familiar.
Yeah, and well, I'm still coming to terms with what is familiar to my character, because I have no ID. I've said this a couple of times, and I tried to explain that my vision of my character is something that I shared with you, but the why of why things are happening, I have no idea about, because that's all in your head and not in my head. So I have to discover who this Bowen is while I'm playing him, and react pretty quickly to different kinds of situations. I mean, the voice came out with the first sentence I ever spoke, which I've immediately found, well, this is Bowen's voice. I understand that now. But all these things, like with the dagger stuff, and in the last episode, or the angry reactions, and the not being really appreciative of how people are trying to help me, or how they talk behind my back, which I should not be appreciative about. I don't know. Anyway, all these kinds of things I have to discover on the spot, because he's such a instinctive creature.
Impulsive.
Very impulsive. Yeah. And Bowen hates old. Of course, he assumed the darkness came from old. Of course, I would assume. Well, but that's the thing.
He's skipping over what Ashley says there as well.
It didn't come across while watching as a meta decision, if that helps. No, because I think in the end it wasn't a meta decision. It was a decision that might have been somewhat influenced by the meta stuff.
Oh well,
I reacted mostly on.
I don't mean that. I didn't want to blame you for being meta in this. But I wondered if the phrasing I used and stuff like that, if that was triggering something in you and steering you to a particular side in making this decision, even though like you said, it wasn't even a decision.
No, it wasn't. It was a reaction. And then the other thing is that even if, I wasn't going to try to save any of the other women that were there. If I was going to save anybody, it would have been Aldreef. So in any case, it would have been logical for me to go after Aldreef instead of the others. Now, why would I even save Aldreef? That's a whole different question. Because, man,
Yeah.
Presumptuous little... No, I'm not going to say it. And it's not true. Now I'm going into Bowen mode. I love Aldreef, of course, but you all know that. Hopefully. That's the other thing that Michel said at the end of one of the shows, that people should realize that in the end we are all friends, because sometimes we can be really harsh for each other. And the other funny thing is that when we played in the previous campaign, in Roger's campaign, we weren't that friendly to each other as well, although the characters were quite different than these ones. So that's the funny part. Aldreef, it came from a good place, but it was a primal instinct, something like that. Although good might be too big of a word, but it came from a protective place, maybe. Aldreef is trying so hard. Well, Bowen is as well. So
yeah, it's just not in the same way.
Just not in the same
then
way.
You went after the ritual in which you cleansed the whole corpse. You went to your private chambers, which turned out to be not so private.
Nope.
Did you guys realize that? Because I described the chambers like 2 sessions ago, and well, that's 4 weeks apart, and I don't think everyone realized that there were literally paper thin walls between you guys.
It's that, and it's how you fill in the blanks after a while anyway. Even within a matter of minutes that can happen, because you might have said there were curtains in front of every door or leaves or anything, but you see the opening, I should say opening, not door. But for some reason you always go to doors anyway, because that's your the reference you have in the real life. And it's funny how that happens. In my mind, even curving hallways become straight at some point, because that's how I experience corridors and
it's
tunnels
how the human mind works anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you fill in blanks, like you said, and you put pieces into that picture because they should be there in a way, or at least you think they should be there, even though they're not. But it led to some interesting conversations, because you could hear them talking about you again, and I think that was both beneficial and detrimental to the whole situation. But it's I really liked the conversation you had with Thomas. I mean, while other Bowen is always at odds with Thomas, this Thomas tries to get closer to Bowen in some way, even though he admitted that he doesn't trust you, but he doesn't trust anyone, so why would you be any different? But he still he made an effort, which is something he didn't really do with the other Bowen.
No, so Thomas. it's a strange party, man. Because I think last session he was always also talking about everyone can fly. I can fly now as well, but it's into trees and stuff. It feels like he's kind of the normal guy between the others. But in a way, it might be the one that I'm most scared of in the end. At least as Bowen Goodhart, I am pretty scared of him. And I like how straightforward he is with this Bowen. And that's why I like the conversation as well. Because then you can immediately forgive some of the things he's saying to your face. And at the same time, he's kind of an enigma to both Bowens, I think. I don't know if he has anything... If there's any other things that he keeps hidden from us that might impact us in some negative way in the end.
You mean in the same way that everyone does that in this group for some reason? Keep everything hidden from the others. I think Solwing, the most exotic character you have in the group, is the most straightforward person in the group.
Still. Yeah, but am I keeping stuff from others? I don't think I am.
This Bowen, I'm not sure he has the capacity to do so. But, I mean, he doesn't understand half the things that happen to him anyway.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah. Our characters don't know each other at all. Yeah.
Do they know themselves, though?
Well...
like you said about Bowen, but does Oddleif really know herself, or Thomas, or... I mean, I guess Gunther does, but he's not here.
No. Does Solwing know himself?
He's also on a journey.
Yeah. Who knows, Michel? Who knows?
But then they went out of their way, both Oddleif and Thomas, to get you a new dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they return. They give you a present for the first time in your life.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Can I say something? I love how you are taking over the show. I really love
Yeah. But you can ask me questions, but I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna go into that.
Oh, I'm going to ask you a question, but it's...
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll just keep my mouth shut. But we'll see.
We'll see. And then it was the first time I ever received a gift.
No, not ever, because you received a magic item in 2 sessions before. But they went out of the way to get you a present, and then you got the present, and you said, thanks, I guess.
Yeah, so... when you think you've finally done something for your children and they will be very glad about it and they just walk by. Mm-hmm. It's that kind of reaction, not quite knowing how to handle it or not even seeing it. It's in this case, it's not quite knowing how to handle it or just taking it as a normal thing. Because I think the loss of my dagger is something quite different than the daggers that have been granted to me. As I tried to explain, but that was the other fun part. I was in the corridor going to my room, and Solwing came after me, and he was trying to just say, "Oh, come on, Bowen, we really have to talk." And I was saying, "No, Solwing, no," or something. And then I wanted to blurt out what was happening to me and why I was so distraught and why I was the way I was. And then Oddleif came into the hallway. Man, Narukio. Oh,
nice. Yeah, those are people from my raid team in World of Warcraft, and they just killed us without me. I'm the raid leader, but I'm here now, so.
Yeah, that's more important.
Oh, grats, dudes. Grats. Do you need, though? Can I have loot?
Anyway.
F you, Adam.
Hello. Well, it's great of you to come here and talk about this. I mean, I'm not even sarcastic.
90 minutes. Yeah, it's great that they share their experiences.
Yeah. But anyway, and then Oddleif came in. She started to talk to me, and I got even more distraught. And I went to bed, and then Solwing came, and he was, "What's happening?" And I'm so sad. I really exploded at that point because I couldn't get it across to the players, to the other players, that I was distraught because I lost my dagger. And, well, this is the other thing. and I don't know. Can I say? I can tell them this. I have described Bowen as walking around in a raggedy robe with a belt that's nothing more than a rope and a single dagger. That's the only three things that I'm wearing.
Only
And
worldly possessions. Yeah.
yeah, I've been in a bath, and I was very glad that I was in a bath. But I dressed up in the same robe again. You by now know that I don't even have any underwear. You can see through my clothes, and nobody is taking the time to dress me. You know?
No, that's
No,
yeah, and then they
I'm
just
not
give
going
you
to
a
ask
weapon.
because I'm Bowen. Yeah, well, he's really attached to the things he's wearing, but he's like, some beggars have more clothes on than him, and it's really sad.
It is.
Yeah,
But
and
I asked about this particular moment because it could have also been a really beautiful story moment where you where your friends uh, gave you a gift and you could have gotten all emotional about it, but instead you just whisked it away, and it so subverted my expectations of how you would react. It was I liked it because of that.
yeah, well, as you might have noticed, I'm postponing gratitude
Yeah.
in every situation. So I will come. It will come back at some point, but I'm postponing the
Also,
gratitude.
I mean, there's someone in chat asked me to name the guild that just killed us, and that's the Stumpy's Bandits on Shatari EU or Steam Wheel Cartel EU or Moonglade EU. So there you have it, Heaven. I hope you're happy.
Okay, shout out.
Yeah.
Dress yourself, man. And as he says,
Yeah.
all this noble born, though, she would have that British ability to just look and assume it's a native dress. Yeah. And Misha says, no, you're right. But there is so much detail happening, and we already have so many interactions and discussions. Yeah, and that's true as well, because I think that from about episode 3 on, we always needed to discuss more than what is allowed in the time we have.
Oh, you still keep skipping over so much.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
And,
this other thing? I just what was it? And oh yeah, for instance, you've never asked Petal since she returned what those huge creatures are that wander through the forest. I mean, you see them everywhere, but
yeah, but
yeah,
that's
no
so
one
hard
cares.
to. No, that's not true because Jasper cares,
Yeah,
but Bowen doesn't care, and that's pretty hard for me to
yeah,
play.
okay,
You know,
yeah, okay,
I'm not doing anything with the riddles you're making. I'm not doing anything with the creatures. I'm not interested in the whole stamata stuff as Bowen, I just blunder through everything, and have my
But
own personal drama that I'm playing out, but.
well,
It
it's
doesn't.
not just you though. There's 3 other
No, I
people
know,
who
but
are fairly interested in stuff and curious and stuff like that. And but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
how many sessions
you
did it
should.
take you before discussing Oddleif's wings? And did you even actually discuss them already?
Well, I didn't, but Solving did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
But
then
mine
at the
and
start of the session, Thomas and Solving had a good conversation about it and wanted to discuss with Audrey where her power came from. So I think that in some way parts of those of that have been resolved, but I think that everyone is coping with a certain kind of I don't know. I think that nobody of us knows anymore what the limits are of what the scope is of what is happening to us. Let's put it that way. And hashtag start dressing the cook. Yeah. Everything is weird to Audrey if she wants to know everything, but again, there's so much stuff going on.
yeah, and but
Yeah.
that's also a thing. There's so much going on, and you can only discuss one thing at a time, and that takes when you start discussing something that takes precedent and can take over the whole evening in a while because we only stream for what like 2.5 hours, and that's not a lot for a D&D session. And
No.
there's so much going on.
Yeah.
There's still a lot for me to throw at you guys.
Yeah, so that was my question because what had you expected before we started the session would happen in this session?
This session,
Yeah.
well,
Was there a swamp involved, possibly?
yeah, there was. At least I prepared some of it. Um, but I kind of saw this happening as well, because at the end of the encounter, you guys said we really need to talk. And then we had the ritual thing, which didn't take up a lot of time, but then you guys got to your chambers and you started talking.
Yeah.
And that can quickly fill up a whole session. I mean, in one of your sessions or your campaigns, we spent 15 hours of real time discussing how we should tackle a particular encounter.
Yeah.
And we ended up talking with the guy and never lifting a weapon or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of expected that this could have been a talking session, but I also was prepared for you guys just saying, yeah, just let's go. Which you also did quite rapidly at some point. At some point, you were just done with it and decided, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And Bowen is always the first that starts running then immediately. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so I did prepare something of where you guys are going now. Even had Eric prepare some stuff already. But yeah, I guess you guys have to wait.
Yeah. Certainly. It's a pity in a way, but it's cool as well. Yeah, I thought it was a great session. I think we all felt really comfortable last session. I think we're getting better and better at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Hey, and there was another question by Ashley in the chat, or more of a compliment, but thanks. He says, while Roger is here and able to participate outside of DMing, the world you've created is beautiful, man. Would love to hear more how you sculpted it. Would you mind me going a little bit into that? First of all, thank you for the amazing compliment.
Oh, it's not for me to put you up on a pedestal. So I think we're going to the main topic now.
Yeah, that's good.
No, kidding. Of course, you can talk.
Hey, you're the host, so
Yeah, I'm the host, but
I mean, it's not for me to take over the show, right?
no, indeed.
No.
So
Maybe
you
I should
have
stop.
my
Okay.
permission to go into it somewhat.
Thanks, Jasper. Okay. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I didn't start out this way. That's the short answer. Um, when I first came up with the idea for the precipice, it was more of an idea for. I was thinking to myself, if I would ever do one shot, what would I do? And so I had prepared this little adventure in Brentwick. And I thought, yeah, that would be a great starting point for all campaign then. And I started to put pieces together, sculpt the world, and yeah, make all the interactions and stuff with happening. And most of that didn't even come to light just yet. And for now, I've mostly been crafting the world around the players, which is something I do a lot. I mean, I know how the world works and how the deeper mechanics of everything and how stuff is interconnected and things like that. But I usually start to visualize the world myself through the player's eyes. So when they reach a city, that's actually the first time I see the city myself, in a way. And I don't mean that I might have a map of the city and some general idea of what a city should be, but and when the players arrive there, then I actually have a painting of the city, and I can see the banners on the walls and stuff like that. And before that, it just is a concept, and when the characters arrive there, and when they have to see it through their eyes, is when I put everything together, and it becomes, yeah, it comes to life for me.
But you're
And
getting
that's
more detailed as you're going along as a dungeon master for this precipice as well. I think that when we reached Cabri, I remember the session, although it was epic. I remember that I think we were still searching how we wanted to do the show or something. But at every city after that, the descriptions became more elaborate and more detailed. And I think you started to know what interests us more as well.
Yeah,
And
but that's
yeah,
exactly what I
yeah,
mean when
yeah,
that I look through your eyes at the city and
yeah,
not through what I think the city is.
yeah.
Uh,
But you remember when we came to Capri, there were stalls and everything, and there was a market at the start. But well, I think in the long term, what we wanted out of that city was the inn and the cathedral at that point, and those were the main interesting features. Um, and those got embellished the most after that as well. We went through the market like mad. I think
yeah,
Solving bought something at the gate, but that's it, you know. And you were describing the stalls and everything, but it was not for us, so we passed by
yeah, yeah.
that
Well,
part.
yeah,
Solving past the main gate the first time you got there, so there was that as well. You have to think about all these other kinds of things that of how we approach stuff. Uh,
yeah. Well,
um,
so yeah,
yeah.
uh, I am exploring the world as you go as well. It's I'm looking over your shoulders and seeing the world as you guys would. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, it's still 4 to 5 different perspectives, but yeah, and you have. I know there's a lot of DMs that tend to over prepare, like give every blacksmith a name in the city and
Yeah.
uh, exactly list how many people are living in the city and what percentage of the population is dwarf, what percentage is human, etc. And well, I do that somewhat, but I don't. I fill in the blanks as we go. A lot of it is just improv, and yeah, the inspiration comes to me when you guys do stuff, and
Mm.
um I think in some way it might take some confidence for DMs to trust in themselves that they'll be able to pull that off. Because I think that most DMs that over prepare think that they need something to hold on to. And in all my years of DMing, I've learned that that's not necessarily true. I mean, as long as you have some concept and, more importantly, an understanding of how things need to be, then
Yeah.
you're fine. Then it will come to you as you go along.
Yeah, so two things about that. Well, let's first go into Ashley Gibson. Ashley says, the ultimate mystery is what is happening in Brentwick. I reckon some rats in the basement. Yeah,
Probably
probably.
true. Yeah.
And also, man, it is such a detailed world. I love the aesthetic, which I said ages ago. Just so Lewis Carroll-esque, like a dark, twisted version of the regular fluffy 5th edition.
Yeah, that thanks. That's kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah.
It's I'm usually not a DM for these dark, gritty, noirish themes, but yeah, that's what I wanted to try out with this one, and yeah,
Yeah.
so far people are picking up on it, so that's great.
Yeah. So the other two things I was going to say is that one, this is exactly what I'm going to try to do in my session prep show. Talk about this kind of stuff that we are talking about now. That's why it's so fun to have Roger on as well, and Eric in some regard, and Michel as a butting dungeon master. Um, and the other thing is that, and I've said this to Roger before, I think that if I would have been the DM of this show, because there was talk about me being the dungeon master for a short while as well, it would have been such another show. And that's the funny thing about Dungeon Master's mark on the campaign. To be honest, I think I wouldn't have done as good as Roger would have is doing it. I might have got the
I
story.
don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I might have got the story as well as you, but you are really doing a very good all-around job, man. I really have to compliment you about that. So, and now I'm saying it on screen. And I think it was a good decision to make you the dungeon master for the show. Yeah.
I more or less demanded it, but yeah.
yeah. Okay, but I was in the running, right? For a second. Hard agree, says Michelle.
Yeah, but thanks very much. I mean,
take the
I
compliment.
always watch this show, and there's a lot of compliments headed my way, and I mean, I love the compliments because it's what
bread
keeps
and
me
butter
going as well. It's the bread and butter. I mean, it's not essential, but it is.
It's kind of nice if it happens every now and then.
Really nice if it happens. Yeah. So thanks again in chat as well, and yeah.
So enough about us. Let's talk about us. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird segue, but yeah.
Yeah. Man, yeah, we could go on talking about this part of the show, but I think then we will be disappointing a couple of people that sent in some answers to our question.
Maybe we should do a DM stuff. Just talk about how we DM and what our styles are and stuff. Instead of a talking void topic, maybe sometime.
We could do that in like 4 weeks if you want.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. It's evenings are filled.
Yet another Tuesday.
Yeah, it's yet another Tuesday. Damn it.
Stupid woe.
Yeah, well, my guild is getting along without me, so they don't need me. Damn it.
Luckily, this is your favorite show, right?
Yeah, it is still my favorite show.
Anyway, let's go into the main topic. That's what I'm trying to say in a way. So. The main topic of this evening is: what is the biggest mystery you've ever uncovered in a campaign? Let's not go into our answers yet. As you by now know, and this is the style I've been trying to develop in the last couple of sessions since Careful Cantrip was on the show, let's start with some funny ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first three are, and I must say, okay, before I go into this even more, because I first have to say something else, of course, because Mireneas gave us this question, and as expected a bit by me, it was difficult to one to answer by a lot of people, so there aren't that many answers as normal, but and a lot of them were of the funny kind, so I had to even cut back at that point, but we'll have a lot of things to discuss anyway. So, but it was a hard question to ask of our viewers, Mireneas. But thank you for the question and thank you for your answer, which we will of course be discussing, and which will make Roger glad again. Oh yeah, yes. One of the reasons to ask it. And Ashley says, I think as a perennial dungeon master, I end up watching Roger more to look for reactions and listen to the storytelling, and listen to a lot of table talk as a non-participator as they plan and chat things through. I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing.
Yeah,
as you're saying.
Same.
As non-participator.
Oh, there.
Okay. Anyway, okay.
Well, just one more tip. I mean, every DM is different, so don't take my word for gospel. It's just how I do things. Jasper does things very differently, and
don't listen to him because it sucks. It really sucks.
Well, thanks for that endorsement, Jasper.
Man, I just gave you compliments. I can make a
Yeah. You need to take me down the feedback again.
Yeah.
I understand.
Otherwise, I'm going like this. You're going above. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you make my screen somewhat bigger than yours?
Yes, I can, but I won't.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, this is a good mood to start the funny answers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay, so the funny answers are Timothy says where the DM keeps the snacks. That's the biggest mystery you ever uncovered in the campaign. Mike says how to get adults to show up regularly. And Niall says where did my other D8 go? Still unsolved. So You know, these are
I
funny.
want to react to
but
the first one, because
Oh,
why the hell is the DM bringing the snacks? I mean, prepare the whole adventure. Just bring him snacks. It's the
yeah.
best way to get XP.
So there are some things happening here as well, because I thought the second one was pretty
I
funny as
never
well.
bring the snacks. All my players bring the snacks. That's
Yeah.
their thing. It's
How to get adults to show up regularly. Yeah,
that's still a mystery.
that's still a mystery. I don't think we will
Though
have
I
to solve
can
that one.
tell you, if you start a Twitch live stream, then suddenly people are all on time. It's really weird.
It's funny though, because the first time we went on, I think we were there 1.5 hour before we even started, and these times we go, oh hello, half an hour before we start, and then we do some checks and everything. Yeah, so that's gets more common as well, but we are always on time.
We are so far.
Yeah, we are so far. But I think that this is quite a common problem at the second. We can be serious about the second one, though. Well, we can be serious about the first one as well. But the second one, it's really everybody seems to have lives that involve other stuff than Dungeons and Dragons, which is really bothersome.
Yeah, but isn't this the D&D meme that's as old as D&D?
Yeah, because it isn't a meme.
No,
It's the truth.
well, there's a lot of memes made for this particular one. It's just it's hard to. I mean, I once had a player who we did tell that the session would start half an hour earlier than it would actually do, because then he would show up on time, because at this exact frame of 30 minutes in which he would be late. And I think we played on Sunday afternoons, and we told him, it's 1:30, while the others were all showed up at 2, and then he showed up at the same time as the rest of us. So
yeah, we did that for a while. Yeah, always had fries with it. Remember that one?
Oh yeah,
all meals,
large
man.
boxes of
Teenagers with their thirst for or their hunger. Anyway, yeah. And the third one, where did my other D8 go? Well, that's a true nightmare for me. I have to admit.
I don't know. I still miss a D8 from my first set as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to check right now, because I suddenly get this fear that I'm missing dice, but I think I'm not, though. But my D20 was outside of the box. Yeah,
Michelle has mine.
D10,
Where are my dice, Michelle?
D6, D4, and my...
Yeah, okay, we have a show. We're live.
yeah, but I suddenly got very anxious. I'm missing a die. Which die am I missing? D6, I'm missing a D8. I have to search for that.
Yeah, it's a D8. It's always a D8.
It's always so that's appropriate then. Man, where's my die? Anyway, okay, now I'm getting anxious.
Okay, best tip: don't use long swords.
True.
With one hand, because in fifth you can use them in both hands.
Yeah, okay. Oh man. Okay.
Calm
Relax,
down,
Jasper. Relax.
breathe.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. Robert, we stopped Mr. Jenkins. He was trying to scare people out of the mine dressed up as like a ghoul. That way he could buy it cheap and mine it himself. He would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for us meddling kids. And our dog too.
Yeah. I think these guys also have snacks.
They also have what?
Snacks. Of a particular kind.
Flicks?
Like snacks.
Snacks,
Like
yeah.
Scooby snacks.
I think I said that to him when I said the answer would be on Talking Void. I said, and I'm missing some snacks in here. Yeah, it's a funny remark though. I started reading it seriously, of course, but then, once the quarter fell.
Yeah.
It's just a Dutch
Don't laugh so
expression.
hard at your own jokes.
Sorry, I'm hearing them for the first time as well.
Yeah, okay.
So, oh my god. Yeah. So, well, I had to laugh about that one.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. So then let's go to the next ones. Yeah, nothing more to say about that one, right? Candom says, we're currently freeing Savras and Mask from years of banishment in the prison dimension. Their followers thought they had died or been abandoned. Let's first start with that one. You know what this refers to?
No. Should I?
I think I do somewhat. Well, there are two things that are happening in this comment for me, and I think because there's mask in there, I think they are Forgotten Realms gods. That when you play Baldur's Gate and Baal
Hmm.
is spread across all his children and everything. I think this is something that I think this ties into that kind of thing. But the other thing is, of course, how is this the biggest mystery you've ever solved? And I think that that Camden here is not describing that they've solved the mystery, but they are going to reveal something to the world that has been a mystery for them, and they are the ones who are going to see to it that everybody's going to say, "Ooh." And I thought
Yeah.
that was a different take to the question once again.
Well, usually it depends, really, but a lot of mysteries are mysteries to many people,
Mm.
and if you're the ones that solve it, then yeah.
Yeah, of course, but I think there's a kind of anticipation in how this question was answered by Camden, because I think that he is, or she, or they are eager to get the reaction of what will happen in the world when they finally free Musk and Savras, or whatever the name is.
Of us, yeah.
Yeah. If anyone in chat knows these names, Musk. Yeah, maybe. I think it's Forgotten Realms, right? Or maybe it's even Greyhawk. I don't know.
Look at us, experienced D&D players. Don't even know our gods.
Well, yeah, indeed. We don't know our gods. Well, there are so many gods.
Mm.
Which is another thing, by the way, because I've bought 2 campaign settings recently. I could go into campaign settings as a whole other topic, but then I thought to myself, I will never read all these gods. I read one entry of a god and see how they done it.
Yeah,
And then,
how it's structured. Yeah,
how it's
yeah.
structured. And then I put the book away again. You know,
Yeah,
I think
same.
that from every book I buy, I read like 20 pages or something, and then I say, okay, I get the gist, what's happening here, and then I go on and do my own stuff again.
Well, yeah, that mainly serves as inspiration. And
Yeah.
but yeah, back to this mystery. I'm not sure if he's a player in this. Yeah, I'm not sure, but then it sounds like something exciting to do because they already seem to have inside information about the mystery they're solving, and
Yeah.
it's gonna affect a whole lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a great build up to later ones, and I think well, I you know how you read sentences and you can sense anticipation in the words, even though they're just black and white in the end. I got that feeling here. Clifford says, "What is at the other side of the demon's mouth we climbed into?" That's the greatest mystery of.
I want to know now.
So either they've finished the session at this point and he is wondering what will happen next session, or this is a reference to the Tomb of Horrors, in which case it probably isn't good.
No. But yeah. I don't know. He capitalized Demon's Mouth, so it sounds like a location name instead of an actual Demon's Mouth.
Yeah, that's why I think it's about the Tomb of Horrors or maybe the Tomb of Annihilation. I haven't seen that module as well, but I think it's a fresh view on what the Tomb of Horrors once was. So.
Listening to the name of those things just doesn't sound great.
Yeah. So I watched this guy on YouTube who made the whole map in like carton and everything from the Tomb of Horrors. If you ever want to see how big the dungeon is or how strange it is, because it isn't the largest dungeon you've ever seen, but how strange it is, you should certainly look it up. Tomb of Horrors, building the Tomb of Horrors, I think. Now I don't know the name because it just entered my mind, you know. But it's a really colorful dungeon. that's so funny about. Well, that's not the thing that comes to mind for me when you're talking about the Tomb of Horrors immediately, right?
No.
But I think it's certain death.
Probably. It
Probably.
doesn't sound good.
No. Loontoon says, in a human low-level magic campaign, after going after a vampire clan, we discovered every type of health potion was made from babies / humans' blood. It set us on a journey to destroy whatever or whomever supplied the land.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds very dark and evil. And yeah, props to the DM for coming up with that. I mean, that's you did something similar in a campaign where it turned out that using magic was actually detrimental to the world's health. Like we were destroying the world piece by piece just by casting spells.
Yeah.
And that same thing goes for this. So you're drinking all these health potions and you feel really good because you just drank a health potion.
Yeah,
And
justifiable.
then suddenly you realize, oh,
Everything we've
ooh,
done. Yeah.
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 So this is awesome.
Yeah. Reminded me of something we
It's
discussed
not
as
awesome
well.
if it's real, though.
No. People, that's distinct fiction from real life. Yeah. When I said last week, I wanted to do my session prep in my new show.
Yeah.
And I said I probably can't use one of my campaigns right now because that would be too dark. Well, this reminded me a bit of that.
Yeah, me too. But,
But
I think you went a step further, maybe.
I went quite a few steps further, I think. But I'm still thinking about how could I ever introduce that in a way on the internet where people aren't mad at me after the first 5 minutes of the show and say from, man, this Dungeon Master, you can go too far, man.
Yeah. That's a whole another topic. Going too far.
Going too far, yeah.
Thing is, I think the most important thing is know your audience, and we have a much bigger audience here on stream. But if you're just DMing for a couple of players, just know what they can handle, and if they're ever uncomfortable with it, stop.
Yeah, indeed.
Don't stop DMing, but stop doing
what you're
the
doing,
things
yeah.
where they're uncomfortable with.
Yeah. So Ashley Gibson says, Vylok's Armory for the Tomb of Horrors build, I think. Yes, that's the one. I think it's a 6-part series. Yeah, I remember that name now. Thank you, Ashley. Vylok is spelled Wyloch. So if you put those letters into your YouTube thingy, you probably find it. So now I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I like it as well because it's dark and I like dark things. It got them angry, so that's cool. And it's a mystery. It was a mystery until the point where it got solved, of course. So, yeah. And Raf says, how many times you can one-shot a boss, kill him before he gets an action, before the DM has enough? The answer is 3.
Wow. I would have guessed much lower than that.
Yeah, probably 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds more. Yeah. If people start one-shotting my bosses, then they're either getting nerfed or they're gonna encounter a lot more powerful enemies.
Yeah, it's difficult though in 5th edition, I think. Because damage can be really bursty or they can have really bad luck and the difference is big. Yeah.
Personally, one of my faults with 5th edition, the front-loaded damage.
Yeah. How do you get around that? Yeah.
There's many ways.
There's many ways. So at this point, I wanted to talk to you about the biggest reveal, one of the biggest mysteries I've ever encountered in a campaign.
Cool.
So as a close second, I want to say our coming to Avon.
Yeah.
So in Roger's world, there's this plane called Avon, which is kind of a timey-wimey spiral on which these cities exist, which represent cataclysms, catastrophes, right?
Catastrophes. Yeah.
Catastrophes in the real world, and then a city gets created, and you get to that city, but you can walk down the spiral and get to other districts that once were, which represent other moments in time, and that was pretty cool, especially because when we got there, I thought he would describe a car passing by. And that
You always mention that.
yeah, but
that's
that didn't
awesome.
happen though. But
It was really alien. It was
yeah, it
really
was really
weird.
alien.
That
Yeah.
world. The world was a byproduct of a broken timeline, and so these catastrophes you just mentioned were significant events that happened in the timeline, events that happened in every timeline, and these cities were named after them and actually had something to do in a way with what happened there.
No.
Usually marked great wars, battles, even important people being born and stuff like that. But yeah, I always loved how you reacted the first time you got there. And
Yeah.
oh man, I feel like a car can drive by at any moment.
yeah. Ashu says, is that like a living museum of the history of creation and destruction? Yes and no, I think it's the answer.
Yes and no. It's a world, or it was a world that was like a spiral with a river of time flowing upward, and along this river there were these cities built.
Districts, I think.
Yeah, districts they were called, and there was empty space in between called the timeless wastes, but you didn't spend much time there.
Yeah.
And you went all the way down the spiral to the birth district, which was the creation of the world that spawned this timeline.
No. But the most, I think, well, there will probably be others, but when we got out of your world and we first experienced that there were planets hanging in endless space, and they were populated with demons and angels and everything, and we didn't understand what was happening because our worldview got shattered at that moment, and we were really scared and wanted to get back. And there were all these shadow beings hunting us as well. I think that was for me that was a big reveal, because a lot of things happened around those sessions, and one of the things is that there was suddenly talk about balance and void and everything, and I thought, man, we are doing some similar things in our campaigns.
Yeah. You always mention that. I still can't see the.
Yeah. So, so that was the biggest one for me, I think. But that's because it was not only in game, but it was an out of game component as well. And you still don't see it in my campaign?
Well, somewhat, but
it's different.
I mean,
it's a lot different.
It's really. I mean, if you just hear it as a third person, then I guess there would be similarities. But I know my train of thought that made it and had glimpses of yours, and they're completely divergent. They're not the same at all. The underlying philosophies and stuff we build on to get to where we are, and I think it's still not really the same. And they're still discovering parts of how it works in my current campaign as well. I mean, you didn't know everything at the end of that campaign.
Yeah, true. Yeah, even though we discuss it a lot these days.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you do actually know a lot more than the players do.
Yeah, but so that was a big reveal for me.
Yeah,
that's all.
Cool.
All I have about to say to that. If you feel at anywhere you want to, at any
mine.
point, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually more sad about the mysteries we didn't get to reveal, because I mentioned that one adventure we did
Yeah.
years ago. I think it was we did it like, what's it, 15 years ago, if not more. And yeah, only recently you told me what was actually going to happen, how it all worked, and I'm really sad I didn't get to figure that out for myself as I played along.
Yeah.
Uh, but in that other campaign, the Outer campaign we're playing right now, I think I mentioned one before the show, and that was when we finally discovered who the guy was in the black robe that had been following us everywhere and looking at us and even opposing us at some points. And when we finally discovered his identity, that felt like a really big mystery, internal mystery we had solved at that point. Even though the answer was still really weird, because it turned out to be this guy we already knew, but he wasn't the same guy. He was a guy from a different cycle, an earlier cycle of this world's history, or maybe not. We still don't understand half of what's going on, I think, in your adventure, but that train of thought actually led me to the what I think is my number one mystery we solved, and that is what we were doing in the broken world and where, when that took place compared to the other stuff we. Yeah, it's so hard to explain here, because there's the story behind this is like I can talk for hours,
Yeah.
but long story short, at some point, Jasper offered us, well, like a choice, a red pill and a blue pill, so to say, and we took the red pill, and we woke up in these cubes, and we were in a completely different world, a world that seemed to have ended some time ago, and was just this fragment of it floating through the astral plane or something like that. And we
The
just went on
Silver
a whole,
Veil. Yeah.
yeah, Silverville, yeah. We went through this whole journey through the world, and uh, everywhere we got, things went to shit because we were there for some reason. We deposed uh, some gods, or at least they called themselves gods. They weren't really. And eventually, it all ended with that last remnant of that world getting completely destroyed by these robotic dogs and weird. And then we were back in our old characters after that had finished. And we didn't really understand what was the whole point of that and why we had to see
It's
that.
only
And
been 2.5 years of play.
yeah, yeah,
As,
it
as
took us
a
two and a
inter-
half years to get through that world. And then we got our old characters back after 2.5 years. So, and yeah, so we were left with questions. Turned out that that was the end of the previous cycle, where our previous incarnations had been cloned or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rebuilt by some other people, which is still a mystery of why and how they do that. But the discovery that it had already happened and that we were actually different from those people, even though we were
Kind of the
merged now with them, and it's weird.
Well, if
As
you
like I said,
explain
it
it
can
like
go
that,
on for hours, and you still wouldn't understand. Neither do we.
and Esther says this is why I suggest to ban Jasper's adventures. Well, anyway, this is why I had this monologue about Lost a while ago.
Yeah.
I love these.
I
open-
hope that your ending is better than Lost. So, but
Yeah, of course it's better than the ending of Lost. There will be a church. No, there will not be a
yeah,
church.
okay. But
Yeah, maybe there will be. It could be.
wouldn't be surprised. There was a toilet at some point, so
Yeah. You have been to toilets and everything. And the last scene was that you watch television. So, in a way,
we are
at
watching
least-
television at this very moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's someone who has been dead for a long while, like 13,000 years, who was talking to us via the television.
Yeah. Maybe there's a DVD.
I haven't
Anyway.
seen a DVD player yet.
Yeah. So let's go into the main topic again. GA, because otherwise I would have spoiled the whole name. The biggest one I've ever run had at least 3 plot twists. One of my players was a changeling and basically just had to swap her out for the long-lost, brainwashed assassin of a twin sister. So I think that is one plot twist instead of 3, but I think this was the most important one then.
Yeah. One of the players was changeling. Okay, and she... okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But if it was a twin sister, then the twin sister would have also been a changeling, right?
Well, yeah. But there's a lot of lore surrounding changelings, of course. Because you also have the fake kind that gets swapped at birth, you know. Then lays in the bed, looking like the other one, until they are returned to the Fey realm. Those are kind of Irish myths, I think. So it could be that they took the changeling race and did something like that with it. That's the most logical thing I got out of this, somewhat. But what I liked about this one is the very complicated family situation.
Yeah, this sounds like fun. It also sounds like fun to play this.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the player was in on it on some level.
Yeah. Are you in chat, player? No. DM says, is there a list of topics in this show? Says DMZ. Well, there's one topic. We are discussing it, and your answer will be up soonish, DMZ, I promise you. The sister been following the party and learning their behavior. Yeah, could be. Oh, I'm not worried about mine. Oh, you shouldn't be anyway. It was all 3. Turned out to be 1, a changeling, 2, twin sister, 3, assassin. Yeah, could be as well. Yeah. So I think it's a complicated story. That's to say, but something like someone really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Lots of private talk with the DM. Yeah.
Yeah. You can browse the previous questions in the previous episodes on YouTube. Yeah, that's true. So that's how you can get to the topics in earlier shows. So that's about all I have to say about that one. Then Aaron says, my warlock didn't know where his powers came from. He was experimented on by the 12 and eventually found his way to the old research facility in the Mornland where it all happened. There he discovered his powers came from Sul-Katesh, and by channeling them during the war, moments prior to the morning, I allowed her to reach into our world from her prison and destroy an entire nation. I caused the morning, and she wants me to do it again, in Sharn. My DM is amazing.
Yeah. This sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Again, this is...
So...
Yeah. This would have been a great one for the plot twist episode as well. This not just mystery, it's just a huge plot twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really knowing where your powers come from.
Yeah,
right?
That's cool.
Old thief.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Yeah, maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, you have been missing out here, Stefes. But welcome. Welcome to the tavern, anonymous sugar daddy, a classic. What? Well, there's all things happening in the chat right now. Yeah. When I say this stuff, YouTube, it's me going through the messages really fast without any context. Yeah. So that's cool. But yeah, it's kind of an epic when you read this, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. This is something like that. Yeah, I could have done this.
Yeah, me as well, I think.
Yeah, you too. You always make players feel bad about their actions.
Yeah. So that's really cool of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
No, but this is awesome, man.
It's awesome.
I mean, I say I could have done this, but that's not true. I wished I would have done this before. This,
Yeah, but that's the other thing, you have only so many stories you can tell in a lifetime. And that's true. Real life with that, Roger. in the end, how many plot twists can you get into crammed into a like 50-year period of playing this game? Hopefully more, but
Is that the next topic? 'Cause it sounds kind of depressing. But yeah, not enough is the answer.
not enough. Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, so
I have more stories to tell.
yeah, we all have more stories to tell, and that's. I wanted to make my campaign shorter, but I don't even know if I can manage that because
I can't.
no. So the obvious way to improve on this is start more campaigns, but then you have another problem, as I discovered recently.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Ja. Even kijken. Even kijken. Hear me
Kijken.
saying some Dutch words.
Yeah.
Let's see. Even kijken.
now we're
means
going
let's
Dutch.
see. Yeah, now we're going Dutch. Which means we are going to split the bill, Roger, at the end of the show. Anyway. Players in those 50 years, that's how many, indeed. N-1. Yeah.
Times the players in those 50 years. That's
Yeah.
how many.
That's what retirement is for. D&D 7 days a week. Also true. Oh no, Dutch. I'm allergic to Dutch. Sure, DMZ. Sure. Yeah. Well, to go to DMZ then. DMZ, your question is in here, and so thank you for joining us this evening. So you can elaborate on this story. I have discussed this with you somewhat in chat on Dutch 20, because DMZ is indeed Dutch. So well, that's a thing. I made it. I turned it into English sentences, so I hope you agree with the content. And DMC says the fact that one of the characters the players met had already walked the realms for over 1,000 years. Nothing could stop him, I think. He simply kept on walking, be it above or underwater. The story of Griff Prayer has never been resolved by them. Man.
It once met.
Yeah, but I have to... They once met a weaker copy of him and one character died by his hand, and ever since they just avoid him. So the mystery is this Griff Prayer kind of character, and DMZ told me that he has been a long time Dungeons and Dragons player, and I think this was in first edition Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms that you played this character. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And this was his character. Something happened to him that made him not alive, and he has been walking the realms ever since. But as he told it to me, the player is not really, or the character is not really controlled by a dungeon master anymore. It's just that it appears in the campaigns sometimes, and newer players have no idea about who he is, in a way. It's a kind of a force of nature that just appears at certain points, and you better go around him. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing. So the mystery is on the new players who have no idea what the actual story behind this strange phenomenon is.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool. If you have that, like he says in chat, he literally walks through multiple campaigns, and there's this recurring theme. It almost becomes your signature then as a DM in a campaign where he shows up again. And maybe if you have recurring players, then they're actually waiting for the moment until they see him again, because they're anticipating that moment. And
The not controlled by Dungeon Master is kind of unique in my campaign, since I run all of them on 100% improvisation. I don't do notes. So Griff is about the only planning I ever did in a 4-year campaign.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah. So improvising a campaign is pretty cool as well, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm all for it, in a way. But we'll come to that in my other show. Man. Commercial break. Anyway, he's a 21st level Kirk, 13th level fighter, 13th level mage. Yeah, you could do that in those editions, right? So, mythic level 21 character. Yeah, so not 5th edition at all, and that's what you could do in earlier editions. Just combine things only when specific criteria were met, though. It's a bit like multiclassing in 5th edition, but different as well. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Yeah. So then in third you would have made it kind of a gestalt character, I think, and then no, they're all
Also, a way of
passive.
still honoring your first character. I mean, or maybe your second, but one of your first characters, and
Hmm.
just keeping him alive in a way.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You know, I left Fortos at the end of your campaign at kind of a, well, how do I say, life or death situation, not being to be able part of a group anymore or anything. Where is he?
Yeah. Who knows? He might show up still in the current adventure.
Cool. Yeah. So, but not in my hands anymore, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. Meeting your old characters is pretty cool. Period. Yeah.
It's kind of That's
It keeps.
he says.
You do it.
Yeah. I keep characters that belong to now past friends alive in the same way. It's better in their memory, and that's really beautiful, man. That's
Yeah.
it's like an author in a book dedicating their book to someone or something like that. It's how we D&D people do this stuff. I love it.
I'm so very glad that it hasn't happened to us yet, in a way. But well, now it's getting really weird again in some way. But when it finally happened, I can't say that. I can't say that. But it's beautiful. Let's put it at that. Yeah. There's a reason I keep bringing Strife up in these shows. As he says, well, their names are in the code. They are never truly gone. Opinions are being cut up in here. I'm not crying.
Onions.
Onions. Oh, onions.
Yeah.
You're not crying. Yeah, good so.
Good
Good for you, Ashley. Good so. Man, my Dutch is coming through pretty badly.
You drunk? Oh.
Good. Well, I'm really drinking water. Just water.
Okay, yeah. Me too.
Well, it's from my Talking Void cup, so you never know what kind of magic transforms it. Yeah.
It's my Game Master mug.
Yeah. Well, I got this one from you, so.
It's Voidcast merchandise, available nowhere.
Yeah. The spirits are gone, the characters will walk the realms, an inspiration and beacon to all. Such is the tale of Sir Bacon.
It's Sir Bacon, I love it.
Yeah. So, did we do you justice with this part of the show, DMZ? I want to know that. Or do you
it's
want to...
really beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It's,
let's see what he says before we either go on or do him some more justice.
Yeah, Michelle can just edit this out, right? I mean, this awkward silence. I think
you did fine. I do think you need to have the people tell us themselves as well. Yeah, well, if they are on, would come in chat, they certainly can. And you want to be... he asked me to if he could talk on the show, but I said I'm not really equipped for it at the moment because of OBS stuff, because otherwise I would have done it immediately. But I can't shift that fast between... I have to really prepare for that. So, and otherwise... if you ever have another answer and we can discuss it beforehand, maybe you can come on the show for a couple of minutes and we'll talk with you about your entry. No worries. No, it's not no worries. But I like
a nice suggestion. It's we like to be inclusive for the community.
Yeah, really. It's really fun.
And stuff like this really helps with that. So
yeah,
it's a good suggestion.
Yeah, it's a really good suggestion. So thank you for the answer.
Yeah.
Roger.
So thanks for hanging out in chat.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out in chat.
It's me.
You have not yet experienced something that's new on the show.
Oh no.
Yeah. We're going to do it.
Oh no.
We are going to have a big answer.
A big answer.
A big answer.
Big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, you're part of a big answer because it's a whole lot of text, and it's by Mireneas who came up with the question anyway. So it's about appropriate that you're the last one to have an answer on the show. No, it's not true. Sorry, there's one answer after this, and then There is a surprise, a 5-minute surprise by Michel. Michel will not be on the
Another
show,
one.
but we will be showing
Oh.
something for you. What are our followers called? Voidies?
No, that sound no.
Well, let chat decide, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's maybe that's not something we should do. That's
No.
for
The
the
void
cats.
cats.
No, go away, Michel.
Go away.
It's-
Go away. That answer is the biggest tease for the rest of the answer I have ever seen. Well, tell me the rest of the story. Yeah, that's. Oh, you've read it already. Yeah. Well, that's
okay, yeah, we still need
typical
to go into
Mireneas. Yeah. So, Mireneas says, this was during the Legacy of Time campaign, DM'd by Roger, and played with Jasper as Anfortas, Jin and Michel was the other party. On the mysterious continent of Mirnatal, there were rumors of a secret cult that my faction within our party of powerful ego-tripping duty-bound heroes. We knew that our faction's big bad was there somewhere. The actual mystery involved my ascension into Guardian of Life and the reason why being called a Guardian was so alien to me. And why was this secret called after a tree? So I think I follow the sentence structure. It's a bit complicated and a bit compressed, I think, but we can
It's a
elaborate.
lot of information. In,
Yeah. When
two
the mystery
sentences.
revealed itself, it became known the previous guardian was rooted into the world itself in the literal form of this tree. In the final conversation that followed, there were the guiding answers I always expected but were never confirmed until then. The guardian tree then died, leaving a seed. After that, we confronted the big bad known as Isfron and the unliving abomination called Alive. The mystery uncovered revealed the lore and the depth that was always there, but never outspoken or confirmed. No other of the 7 guardians was so unprepared or untrained in the stakes as I was, until then. There's a lot more to this quest, but that is another story and that might not fit on even the big answer screen. Kind regards, Mireneas.
I liked how we capitalized that.
Yeah, you should.
Big answer screen. Yeah.
So that's a long answer, and I can imagine that was a big reveal for you, a big mystery solved in a way.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah,
to talk about
it was
this.
it wasn't a mystery for me because I already knew this.
Why
But
you did?
I don't know. But yeah, I can understand. Yeah, he was he was named a guardian of a particular source, in this case, life, and he was constantly berated by everyone. I mean, the dragons and other power players just called him unprepared and not worthy, and yeah, just looked at him in a way from what are you even doing here and why are you trying to interfere?
So wait, Roger, are you telling me that you made him feel bad about himself for a couple of years? Because that seems more like a thing for me to do. Than,
Yeah.
than
Sorry,
yeah.
I took a text from your playbook, but a page from your playbook.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the moment when he finally realized why he was chosen to be a guardian without proper training, as all the other guardians would have had. I mean, even the other part he mentioned here with Jin Michel also had a guardian. But he had proper training and was prepared in the ways of what a guardian should be. I mean, I keep saying guardian, but I can imagine that half the chat doesn't even know what I'm talking about, more than half. But let's say, I think your picture disappeared from stream. That's right.
Something disappeared from stream?
Yeah, you.
Me?
Yeah, you're gone for some reason.
How?
I don't know.
Is it back?
Yeah, and now you're back.
Okay. Strange was still on here. Huh.
No, yeah, a guardian was like the existence is created from sources in that world, which hold each other in balance. So they're all opposites of each other. You have good, evil, life, death, light, darkness, order, chaos. And the tension that is created between these sources is actually what people call magic. And when manipulating that, you can shift the balance between these sources in one way. And because mortals learn to use magic, these sources need to be protected. Like The most obvious example is necromancers raising the dead would upset the balance of death. And so the Guardian of Death had to step in to rid the world of undead and people who used necromantic magic. And Mereneas, or in this case Alan, was the Guardian of Life, and he had to protect life. And the abomination called Alive and the Unliving was a twisted version of mutated life energy, which he had to rid the world of, and that was his duty as a guardian. And he was actually chosen because he was part of this group, because they were the people in that were in place to deal with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was not his training or anything. It was just because he belonged. He was at the right place at the right time, and so the Sword thought it wise to choose someone that wasn't a monk and trained in the ways of the Guardians, but someone who could actually take action. And this was Alan.
Yeah. But for him, that was a mystery up to a certain point.
Yeah, it's. I never
The
knew
other
that
funny
he
thing is
experienced this heavily, so it's cool that he mentions that now.
Yeah, and the other funny thing is that I was the wolf of life, which made me his protector or his bond to the real world, so that he wouldn't become detached from existence in some way, because he had all these metaphysical problems to solve. And for a while, I thought he was my guardian, so we had the roles reversed.
you inverted that relationship.
Yeah.
Instead of you being his assistant in a way, you both thought that he was there to protect you from harm, and didn't even know what it was to be a guardian.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did I do that to you guys, or did you do that yourselves?
What?
Establish that was the relationship between you guys.
I think we did it. I might have been egoistic about it as well.
Assumptions, right?
Yeah, assumptions.
But really cool. Thanks for that, Reneus.
Asner says, "Aren't we the chat of your dreams?" Well, you are.
Chat of Dreams. Oh yeah, that's a name for the but
chat.
it's too long.
Chat of Dreams. Yeah, it's too long. Assumptions indeed. Yeah, assumptions are life and butter. So after a long question, there's certainly going to be a long answer.
Short answer.
After a long answer, there's certainly going to be a short answer. So let's go to the last one for this episode, and that one is. Casey says, friendship. The biggest mystery you've ever uncovered in a campaign is friendship.
Yeah.
I think,
I think you guys could learn from that in the Precipice.
Yeah, but is it at the table or
yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, at the table we got that figured out between ourselves, but in character is still ways to go. I think.
I try to always end on an onion topic.
Yeah.
I
get what you mean by that. And this is, yeah.
This is an onion topic again. Yeah. Friendship. Yeah, we have a lifelong friendship, partly because of Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I've known you before Dungeons and Dragons, but
yeah.
We became closer because of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
so yeah,
certainly. Yeah. Bread and butter, so to say. So I thought this was a great one to include at the end.
Yeah, best one to end with. It's because that's the real reason why you play this game, to have fun with friends and.
Yeah. Well, the topic is about. We are at the end of our topic, but then I thought, let's do a bit more about it, just a little bit more, because. How do you feel about the mysteries you put in your campaign and how they come to light.
Well, I am one for big reveals, so I love that. But I think some kind of mystery in a campaign or story um, is what keeps people engaged as well. If you can drop in stuff where people really start to wonder, why is this happening? How is this happening? What's gonna happen? Or I just leave a feeling, people with a feeling of I want to know more,
Yeah,
and that's yeah, kind of the crux of mysteries, I guess. And I think that's an important part of my storytelling. I always try to yeah, set up these mysteries and make people wonder, and then slowly trickle in some new information. And I mean, as a DM, I love when I just gave them a new piece to just sit back and listen to what they come up with now, and wonder how it really is now. I mean, I remember I do some time travel stuff in my adventures as well, and I remember this session where they spent like 4 hours just discussing how things would fit together, and they were mostly wrong, but it was still awesome to listen to. And every time they get a new piece of information that's relevant to that topic, then they get really excited and start the whole discussion again, and that's awesome to see. And yeah, I think it, like I said, it keeps them engaged in the story in a meaningful manner, and just aching for more.
yeah. So
Mm.
I'm almost afraid to ask this, but is there a time limit to keeping matter unresolved?
At some point,
Um,
it does become annoying, if I can say that really carefully. But yeah, I think there is. I mean, I noticed that in TV shows as well. Something like Lost, that was dragged on for too long, and
well,
I like that there's all the and but a mystery can be layered, and if you give like I said, you give them pieces, and at some point you have an established base which they can build on as they speculate further, and then they get more confirmation and stuff like that. I don't think there's a specific time limit. It's not like yeah, okay, time's up, give to me, you
yeah,
know. But it can be frustrating at some point if you get the feeling you never get anywhere, which we don't with your campaign. Let me be clear about that. It's
yeah.
not. The,
You
I
are
mean, there
getting
were
any.
moments when I felt that way, because then we got all this new information and it didn't solve anything we had before. It just led to more questions, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's that was kind of frustrating, but we're still getting answers in your campaign, and still piecing stuff together. And there's a lot of stuff we came up with ourselves and have to figure out ourselves. I mean, you just give us puzzle pieces and we have to see if the pieces fit. And I think the most frustrating thing in your campaign is that we rarely get any confirmation that we're on the right track,
yeah, which
and that
is
feels difficult.
yeah. So when I don't know if I've ever talked about. I'll get to your chat soonish, but I want to
Oh,
say this first because there are a lot of things happening in chat. Um, is that when I designed Urtur, the campaign, my campaign, Urtur means a couple of things, which by now you've known that it. Yeah, well, you know that Urtur at least means mother. Uh, uh, that's something you have revealed by now. But anyway, it has more than one meaning. And when I designed it, I thought I'm going to make this really elaborate world with this whole structured concept of the beginning of time, the end of time, and everything in between. And then there are cycles and everything. You've discovered that as well. So things repeat each other, and you've also discovered that when this goes on, things start to... It's like a gear that starts to show marks across time. And I thought, and this will all be backdrop.
Yeah.
None of my adventures will ever be about this. You will just be put into a situation, and there will be a cave, and there will be an ogre. You will defeat the ogre.
Yeah,
and the village will be great.
Yeah.
Well, that is stupid to think of a campaign that way, because players want more, but the dungeon master certainly wants more as well, because you have all these stories to tell, and you go like that, and then you really have to start revealing parts of it. But that's where it gets a bit difficult to
and there's something locales that we visit that like that sewers, the old sewers beneath Breach, where this elaborate waterway was, and all these tubes where stuff, power, magic, I don't know, flow through, and we actually discovered. I mean, we did a whole dungeon crawl in there, and it took us like 4 years after the fact, we actually discovered what was happening there.
I think it was a bit sooner, though.
Maybe sooner. It feels like 4 years. No, it
could be.
We did, but we didn't get that resolution at the end of that dungeon.
No, that's true.
And that took way longer than that. And I think that for a while during that campaign, it was just our attitude as well. But stuff happens, and maybe we'll figure out how it is. And sometimes we just went with it, and because it's another Tuesday, that's a regular expression, and everything's going to shit again because we're doing something and we don't even know what we're doing. So it's
kind of like when you play these video games and you see these ancient structures that are you have no idea what they ever did, and you pass them and you go on to meet the merchant that's around the corner. That's the kind of feeling that I wanted to create with those parts. And at some point they could become bigger, but they didn't actually have to become bigger. That's what I like about my campaigns. But it can be frustrating for players when such mysteries.
But they do actually want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, they do want to know. And actually, the dungeon master wants to reveal some things as well. And that's why it's great.
I sympathize your side of the story as well.
Which is great when a campaign gets derailed, because then stuff happens. Yeah. So let's go to chat. Thank you, Michelle, for the Prime sub. We have a couple of subs by now in chat. Reason why I did not include any Urter mystery is because none of it is ever solved. Well, in the big scheme, yes, but in the smaller scheme, maybe no. But I know you love it, Mireneas. DMC says, biggest plot twist you thought you saw coming. Topic for the next show. Yeah, possibly. I don't think so, but it's a nice one. Michelle had to laugh about that. Nope, years and years later, according to my wife. I think that was in going to when things get resolved.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then DMC goes into this. I prefer to shoot a horn away for my players to uncover the mystery by themselves and through their own actions. I kind of want the fact that they know about it to be their fault, not me telling them via rumors or bar stories. Cliff was not one of those scenarios. He arrived because at the time a powerful entity was cahooting with the party and didn't care for the level 2 mortals. They decided to attempt to murder him because the other entity was friendly to them, so that's how he got involved. As for time limit for unresolved, if the players explicitly try to uncover the mystery, I let them do so if they have the tools to do so. But I find nothing wrong with them asking later on, campaigns later, what was that? Did we try hard enough to figure it out? That's and that's true. Yeah, I think you can do that.
If they're and that's also true for non-player characters. I mean, there's a tendency if you've created a mystery and you don't want it revealed just yet, and they encounter an NPC that knows about it, and the PCs start asking questions, then the DMs can feel cornered in a way. But I just usually just go with it, and if the NPC has the answer, I'll just tell them.
Yeah, I
But
do the same thing.
maybe just an answer from their point of view, which can be
That's cool as well.
not be the truth in some ways.
Yeah, well, that was the interesting thing when you teleported 13,000 years into the future, and there were a lot of answers discovered, but there were still a lot of things that you had uncovered that were not really mainstream knowledge, even 13,000 years into the future. So that was interesting as well. I could talk about a lot of things, a lot of
mysteries.
DM says that's an odd stance to take. I spent so much time on this, and I'm not going to show the players much of it. The moment players see something that isn't explained, it's like bears to honey. Yeah, that's true. But of course, in my adventure, I would always do something with the knowledge, but not the bigger story behind it. So there would have been a sense of completion at the end. At Roger, on the other hand, due to the way D&D goes, if you have a time period where nothing happens, my players get super suspicious why something isn't going wrong.
Yeah. No, but here in that campaign, stuff just was seemingly going wrong for no reason, just because we were there. Stuff was happening, and it was the same with that broken world story I was telling earlier. That world had been stagnant for years, and the first time we were introduced to that world, an alien factor, then stuff started changing.
Yeah.
But that was kind of obvious that we were the catalyst in those changes, at the very least.
And on a very basic level, because there's this balance, and then there isn't, because you start to ask the wrong questions, and the main wrong question is 3 letters long. Why? Players are difficult, said Michel. I have had players shrug and go to the next town to become minstrels and put on a show in the large tavern featuring choreographed dances, jokes and a play. They weren't interested in why the man's daughter had wandered off. And I sure do, says Mirenes in response to how I relax my Urter campaign, so that's great as well. That does something to my ego. Still no miniguns, says here Steffes. Oh no, at Mireneus, did they not try, or was the mystery too difficult? Yeah, well. Still no miniguns. Where are the miniguns I was promised? Chill. Here Steffes says, smiley. Yeah, that was a joke from yesterday. We were playing the game, and so they can't come up with a name. That's strange. And he was wondering when the miniguns would come in, which was really disconcerting in such a peaceful game. Ashley says, check Discord. Okay, chat is going. So I don't know if I can't answer this anymore. I wonder for both Jasper and Roger, are there things that you tried to present as a mystery to the players, but they just ignored it? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I even tried to present things as non-mysteries, and they made it a mystery, which was also kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like the chair.
Especially Marineus, he picks up on this that kind of stuff. He thinks everything's mystery, and it's usually right.
Yeah, the funny thing is, one of my early sessions, Mireneus, who plays selves in my campaign, waved at a certain figure across a couple of hills and said, "Hey, Eric," and I said, "They should not know this moment," and I just kept silent. And then
that was the first mystery I mentioned.
Yeah, the first mystery. And then sessions and sessions went by, and then he revealed himself to be Eric. And it was, well, that's typically Mireneus. The greatest mystery I've ever uncovered was that the person I hated most in our game turned out to carry my real life first name. Yeah, the same person, Eric.
The same Eric. Yeah.
Playing absolute, but talking exclusively about Journey. Yeah, that's a thing as well. Okay, so a lot of things. People, I love your comments, but I really have to get into the thing Michel gave me.
Yeah, and they now moved on to Space Marines, I think so.
Yeah, so that's okay then. Roger, can you put on your Twitch so you can see what Michel
has my Twitch open.
Yeah, but the music.
Oh, but I need the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see you after this 5-minute video that Michel put together for us, and let's have a view.
Can
And
both of you stop talking because this is really annoying. I turned down sound. Yeah, so
Okay.
warn me if you turn it on.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it on right now. Enjoy yourself.
Jasper, you wanted to say something about a post show?
Yes, well, I want to do that. Yes, thank you very much. So we are going to do a post show. It will be called Talking Void. Tell me, Eric, are we on TV?
No, we are on the internet.
So welcome to Talking Void. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome back to Talking Void. Welcome to welcome everyone. Welcome back to Talking Void, where no introduction is ever the same twice. Well, I had this whole introduction prepared, and now I've lost it already. Welcome to TV. Hello. See, much better. And where we came to. Well, now I forgot it again. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome to TV. Welcome back to Talking Void. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome back to Talking Void. We had this perfect introduction, but it's great because it was all about not being perfect. So that's that's how we start this episode. I just wrote we're live on TV, and that's true because we are live on Talking Void. And as always, chaos ensues. Talking Void, where we talk about stuff. Jin, can you tell me what's on your head? Well, that's been a great introduction. So now we're going to the first the second introduction to the show, which is the main introduction, which is blah 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 blah. Just keep silent, Eric. I want to do it, so you can't stop me. Oh, I'm so sorry, people. This should have gone totally different, but Eric kept on babbling, and I'm a bit distracted now, and I'm getting pretty nervous, but. Well, here we go. I'm going to do my best. Okay.
So when do you want me to stop talking?
Right now, please. I recently got someone saying, "Oh, TV, it's Talking Void." Yeah, that's the fun of it, And we have the Precipice of Dreams, which is POD, which is a podcast. So there we go. Anyway.
And we have parallel projections, which is PP, which is also funny, but maybe only to me.
I think so. We are going into relax mode right now, talking about the things we like to do when we have some spare time. And for the first time, we have this main topic that we'll be discussing. And this week's topic is how do you role play? And we'll be answering the question, how do you spend your goal? Our main topic this evening, which has been displayed below me for the most part of for the part where you saw us talking. So how or why did your character die? That's the big thing that we are answering, talking about. Yeah. So, what is the best plot twist one of your characters has ever experienced? We had a couple of community-based answers. We are going to talk about it ourselves as well. We also, again, are going to talk about the Precipice of Dreams. But before we do that, when did you break alignment and regretted doing it? That's the main topic of the show. And we have this main topic. And what's our main topic this evening? It is, what is your favorite type of character to play and why? Now I'm going to announce the topic of this episode is topic? No? Yeah. It sounded strange as well.
It was strange, Jasper.
And it is, what was the best boss you have ever encountered and why? And for this evening, the main topic is... what is the main topic?
What is the perfect combat encounter for you in Dungeons and Dragons?
In Dungeons and Dragons. Yes. Yeah, so that's the main topic. Thank you, Michelle. Now I am going to introduce the main topic, which is a bit strange. Okay, but it was, what is the most memorable item your character has ever had in Dungeons and Dragons, and why? We'll come back to that later. Sorry, I switched two slides. But anyway, who cares, right?
Shut up. So yeah, this is Talking Void, the show where Jasper never shuts up. If you have time, watch it again and look at the faces of the guests while they're waiting for Jasper to shut up for a second.
I cut it off, man. I cut it off, really. No.
Again, it was awesome, Michel.
Sorry, I think I cut it off, man.
Yeah.
I'll run it again at the end of the show, just till the end.
Yeah. Well, that sums up the show. It's
Yeah, that sums up the show.
it's why we tune in, right?
There was some text after the title. We'll see it after the show. Sorry, Michel. I had to laugh so hard, and I thought we were in the end, and I was hoping I would not screw it up. And then I screwed it up, of course. But anyway, which is kind of in character. You see, I have to laugh about myself a lot as well. So,
yeah, us too, Jasper.
The ending would. Sorry, Michelle. We'll be seeing it after the show again. So sorry. We'll not do the end titling, but we go straight into the video once again. And then, but you wanted to see our reaction. Well, this was my reaction. It's great. So explain why you're so hot and bothered and tongue-tied around Eric, because he's such a sexy dude.
Is this hair? His glasses. Is it his hair? It's nice.
His gray hairs makes me aspire to be older. But in truth, I was going to sing a song at that point, and I got blushes on my cheekbones, and life. Anyway.
Well, we ended this one in tears as well, but different kind of tears.
Different kind of tears. Yeah. No onion peels here.
I'm still here, Eric says. You like the abuse, admit it.
Because I like to hug you, Eric. Anyway, go to the last slide. So, at the end, yes, except for this, what is the next topic for Talking Void? It's unknown at this moment. Will be revealed on the Precipice of Dreams next Monday. Why is it unknown? Because, of course, we will be. I still have to talk to Agard from Dash 20 some more, with him some more to talk about the content of the next show, which will be on in 2 weeks, as I said. And it will of course be fun, because it's always great when you start to mix communities, or actually it's the same community. DMZ is from that community as well. That's where I got the question from Dutch 20. And did you not watch the edit? I'm still here.
Yeah, it's the answer to Eric.
Yeah. It will be a fun show, and Allard will be on, and I think he's a great guy, and he has really cool ambitions to do stuff with the Dutch community. So I did 3 minutes of Jasper talking when Eric's asking, do I need to shut up now? I'm still dying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So with that, I think I'm going to end the show, and I'm going to end the show by showing the clip once more, because sorry for the supercut at the end. I will not do that again, Michel. And I hope you all had a good time in chat. Well, Roger, did you have a good time?
I had a great time. My laughing muscles ache, so...
You laughed like 2 times.
Yeah, I know. That's.
It's 2
I'm
times
not
more
used to
than
laughing.
normal.
I'm a very serious man.
Oh, yeah.
No. I had a great time. I love taking over your show, man. 10 out of 10 would do it again.
So thanks for the show, cool guests. Thanks DMZ. Thanks for the show, guys. I did. Thanks for it. Awesome as ever, guys. Loved it. Roger, not Roger.
Yeah.
Damn.
Roger.
Roger.
Yeah. Roger.
Yeah. So Roger. Yes. See you next time. Let's see what the next week brings us in the Precipice of Dreams, and on Tuesday, on Monday, and then on Tuesday, Jasper's Laboratory. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Hope to see you all soon. Thanks. And
See ya. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Let's roll that movie once again.
Jasper, you wanted to say something about a post show?
Yes, well, I want to do that. Yes, thank you very much. So we are going to do a post show. It will be called Talking Void. Tell me, Eric, are we on TV?
No, we are on the internet.
So welcome to Talking Void. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome back to Talking Void. Welcome to welcome everyone. Welcome back to Talking Void, where no introduction is ever the same twice. Well, I had this whole introduction prepared, and now I've lost it already. Welcome to TV. Hello. See, much better. And where we claim to. Well, now I forgot it again. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome to TV. Welcome back to Talking Void. Welcome to Talking Void. Welcome back to Talking Void. We had this perfect introduction, but it's great because it was all about not being perfect. So that's that's how we start this episode. I just wrote we're live on TV, and that's true because we are live on Talking Void. And as always, chaos ensues. Talking Void, where we talk about stuff. Jin, can you tell me what's on your head? Well, that's been a great introduction. So now we're going to the first the second introduction to the show, which is the main introduction, which is blah 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 blah. Just keep silent, Eric. I want to do it, so you can't stop me. Oh, I'm so sorry, people. This should have gone totally different, but Eric kept on babbling, and I'm a bit distracted now, and I'm getting pretty nervous, but. Well, here we go. I'm going to do my best. Okay.
So when do you want me to stop talking?
Right now, please. I recently got someone saying, "Oh, TV, it's Talking Void." Yeah, that's the fun of it, you know. And we have the Precipice of Dreams, which is POD, which is a podcast. So there we go. Anyway.
And we have parallel projections, which is PP, which is also funny, but maybe only to me.
I think so. We are going into relax mode right now, talking about the things we like to do when we have some spare time. And for the first time, we have this main topic that we'll be discussing. And this week's topic is how do you role play? And we'll be answering the question, how do you spend your goal? Our main topic this evening, which has been displayed below me for the most part of for the part where you saw us talking. So how or why did your character die? That's the big thing that we are asking, answering, talking about. Yeah. So, what is the best plot twist one of your characters has ever experienced? We had a couple of community-based answers. We are going to talk about it ourselves as well. We also, again, are going to talk about the Precipice of Dreams. But before we do that, when did you break alignment and regretted doing it? That's the main topic of the show. And we have this main topic. And what's our main topic this evening? It is, what is your favorite type of character to play and why? Now I'm going to announce the topic of this episode is topic? No? Yeah. It sounded strange as well.
It was strange, Jasper.
And it is, what was the best boss you have ever encountered and why? And for this evening, the main topic is... what is the main topic?
What is the perfect combat encounter for you in Dungeons and Dragons?
In Dungeons and Dragons,
yes.
Yeah. So that's the main topic. Thank you, Michelle.
Yes.
Now I'm going to introduce the main topic, which is a bit strange. Okay, but it was, what is the most memorable item your character has ever had in Dungeons and Dragons, and why? We'll come back to that later. Sorry, I switched two slides. But anyway, who cares, right?
So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you all next week. Just turn it off.